Hi everybody. It is me. I am back, Erin. I'm back after about a week of not journaling about not doing this video diary. I have been PMSing terribly. I have hormonal issues, and I kind of was going to give up on this, and then I decided to come back. So here I am. I'm laying in bed because it is absolutely freezing. Um, and that's about, plus I'm lazy, so that's about it. Um, I have been following people on Twitter, and one of the borderline kind of people or groups or whatever on there said something, and it literally made so much sense to me. It made more sense than any other borderline thing that I have heard. Like, it's such a good description, and I wrote it down. It says that a lot of my behavior has been about being in huge distress, needing help, and not being able to get it. That is 100% accurate. That's what BPD is. It's not even like no elaboration needed. I think that a lot of people, see the behaviors of BPD and they think that it's automatically crazy. But I think that anybody that's in huge distress, needs help, and can't get it is going to act the way that the BPD people act. It's just that people don't often feel that way as much as people do with BPD. I'll give you my current situation. Currently, I am having, like I said, hormonal issues. I have Lyme disease, and about 2 years ago, I have my thyroid shot. I think my adrenal glands are failing from having PTSD for so long, and the Lyme is really affecting my body. I've been having hormonal things for like a week. Like, imagine the worst PMS you ever had for like a week. And I know I talked about this in my last video. Um, and it's very scary, and it doesn't, last just a day. I feel like I'm going to freak out every second. I'm crying over stupid things, and I feel I'm being mean to little kids, and that's the worst part of it. Is I don't want to be mean to people that don't deserve it. If anything, like, I'll suffer through it. I'm okay with that. But I don't want to, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt somebody that I don't want to hurt, either mentally or physically. Because years ago I did get in fights, and I'm sure I could again. I don't want to. But it scares me because that's how bad it is. And I read something, it was about like elephants, and it said when they're in this certain stage that they're very dangerous because they have so many hormones coming out of their bodies, male elephants. And that's literally how I feel. Because I feel like I'm in huge distress. Again, I can't, um, I'm going through this horrible thing that everybody is kind of, minimizing as hormones, when I think that it's really dangerous and I could hurt somebody. Um, and I don't know when it's going to end. And it's constant. It's like when I have about that week, for throughout the month, I'm laughing one minute, crying the next minute. Like, I can't function. I can't function. So that's a huge distress, and it's really, really scary. I need help. um, I need several kinds of help that I can't get. The first kind of help that I need that I can't get would be help from the doctors. Doctors, number one, don't really believe in chronic Lyme disease, and number two, um, don't know how to treat it. It's not a simple fix, it's not a pill. Um, there are places that I can go to, um, such as hyperbaric oxygen treatment centers and things like that. And, I still think I'm going to do that as I'm speaking about it now. Um, but I don't have the money. So that comes the not being able to get it. Another thing with the huge distress, I feel like um, I really need somebody to tell me it's going to be okay, and support like that. I need that, and I don't have that. I just don't have it. Like, I don't have a close enough relationship with anybody that's going to be understanding of me. So I'm in desperate need of that. Um, I need help. I need support. And I can't get it. And then another huge distress is work. I probably should take off work and, take off work and focus on my health. And I need help for BPD. I need help for Lyme disease, constant help, like a rehab center. You know what I mean? Like a 30 days for borderlines, or, and there's no place that exists like that. The places that do possibly have a borderline center are so expensive. So that's what it comes down to. That's exactly what it is. It's like an epiphany. So I act the way that I do. It's horrible. It's like being trapped, and calling for paramedics, and they're not coming. That's how you feel 24/7. And it's not inaccurate, because as a child, I needed help a lot of times, and there was no way for me to get it. It just didn't exist. Even as a teenager, I can control some things, but I certainly couldn't control everything. I mean, I had a job and stuff, but I couldn't control getting kicked out of my house and being homeless. Like, and nobody helps me, and I couldn't get help. So that's why I react the way that I do. And everything's so complicated when it comes to BPD, but that's like such a simple explanation for it. And again, it's not, I've been in situations so many times where I wasn't able to get the help and had distress. And none of my friends have. Like, I don't think of any, I can't think of any situation. I mean, of course, they've had huge distresses and needed help. And they had a hard time. I'm not saying help was always handed to them, but they've always been able to get it. Besides my family, and they're dysfunctional enough, so, I'm not going to get advice from them. I don't know anybody that has been in a huge distress like us, needed help as desperately as we did, and weren't able to get it. I think that's something that people have in theory, or they maybe experienced they needed $20 and their parents wouldn't give them to them, but not to that level. I don't know anybody. And I think it makes me bitter, and it separates, me from them. And it makes them not be able to relate to me, because they don't know what it's like to feel that way. It makes me bitter. It makes me feel like I'm all alone, that nobody can understand that. So that's really it. Again, I think it's an epiphany of describing things. I'm really glad to have found that, and I will be continuing to do this little vlog here. So, okay.